Hey, it's me, Narrative, and this is the review on the ThreeZero DLX Bumblebee from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. To start off, the box is big. Like, to some degree, it might be a bit too big. That's what she said. But in all seriousness though, it's a bit much. I have no clue where I'm going to put this thing in. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of its presentation. I kind of preferred the Bumblebee movie 3-0 Lines box art. It just had more personality. What I am a fan of is this see-through window, always a plus in my book. Although the only thing you can see is a well-protected item. Inside the box is the figure and its door wings. These attach through a peg connection. This figure captures the on-screen appearance perfectly, and that's largely attributed to the fact that ThreeZero probably had access to the CGI models and the fact that they didn't really need to worry about the transformation gimmick. The only thing I don't like are its lifeless eyes. I kind of wish that the eyes were molded in a shade of transparent blue instead. But that's largely ignoring the LED functionality. Pushing this well-integrated button, the eyes pop with a solid blue LED. Note that batteries are not included. Now on my copy, there is a bit of a significant scratch on the thigh. I painted over it with some silver paint with mixed results. I know that the figure has a warranty, but I really didn't want to pay for international shipping. Besides that, its appearance is flawless. Now onto articulation. The head can go around, just be aware that the tires on the back might get in the way even with their minimal adjustability. The antennae can bend up and down for more expression, but on my copy, the right antenna is a bit loose. Up and down movement is solid, though the car chest gets in the way. The headlight tits are slightly adjustable, though not by much. I kind of wish these parts lit up. The door wings can move around on the peg connection and can flap along the door hinges. The doors can snap shut with these connection points. In some shots, the seam line might be a bit visible, but I do think that the designers did the best that they could. The connection on my right door wing is a bit flimsier than the left. For the arms, we'll start with these tiny yellow pieces. These are on ball joints and can move around. The arms can go around, though again, the wheels might get in the way. Also, on occasion, the arms can bump into certain components in the chest area, mostly because of these ring pieces that can get caught on the chest, so it might click whenever you rotate the arms. The shoulder pieces are on a hinge and ball joint and can let the arms move out. The arms can bend, though it can be impeded by this part of the forearm. The solution for that is to simply rotate the forearms for a deeper bend. Hands are on ball joints and can move around, though the forearm guards can hinder the movement. There's a very solid ab crunch that reveals details on the back. Be careful when doing this since the belly portion might get scratched. Ab extension is a bit underwhelming though. You can also rotate the upper body along this point. Before going into leg movement, I'll just grab the included base. The stand connects through this removable plate. The connection is a bit tight, so be careful when connecting and disconnecting the figure from it. These thigh pieces can move out of the way to prevent part scrapage. Legs can go out that far, move forward that far, and this knee bend is amazing as the knees shift and reveal internal detailing. The feet can move around, though the wheel and this tiny ankle piece can limit movement. Now for some accessories. So here's the stand again. There's some slight adjustability to it. There's just one point of adjustment that's a bit weird. It's a connection point between the stand and the figure. At first I thought this was a ratchet joint, but it turns out that you kind of have to pop it out to change the position. The figure comes with two sets of additional hands. Finally, an alternative headpiece that depicts the character's battle mask. This head has a different LED unit from the default head, as this unit has an additional feature which are these red eyes. I kind of wish that they put the same LED unit in the default head. I mean, why limit it to just one color when you can clearly have two colors on two different heads? But narrative, the film didn't show this on the normal head. Guess what, the red eyes never showed up in the entirety of the Rise of the Beast film. So your entire point is kind of moot. Oh well, no big deal. It's time for the big guns. Oh yeah, these stingers are awesome. The detailing is immaculate and the LED features just take it through the roof. I do think that blast effects would have taken these to the next level, but that might be asking for too much. In conclusion, this figure is a really good gateway to the DLX line of figures. Based on what I can see, it's going for pretty fair prices for now, though that can change in a few months' time. Granted, I know that this figure isn't for every Transformers fan out there. Transformers fans might complain about the fact that it isn't transformable, and that's a valid criticism, since there are third-party options which may come out in the future that can just do that. However, I will say that it's very rare to come across a transformable figure with this much detail, especially when it comes to the shifting joints. Not saying that it's impossible, but sometimes third-party figures make compromises in the design process and the transformation process that makes converting it a pain to go through, and ultimately, you'll still be stuck with a figure in robot mode. Personally for me, I don't regret purchasing this figure, although I'll probably just buy the cheaper DLX figures if I can, since third-party figures tend to be cheaper than the licensed products. It's just that I managed to get this one at a relatively fair price. Still, I'm glad that Transformers fans have access to a litany of product lines that can cater to whatever they want. If you want a good-looking robot mode but don't care for the car mode, get this figure if you can afford it. If not, you can go for some of YOLO Park's offerings. I've heard some great stuff about that product line. Want something that transforms? Get the Studio Series, or better yet, just wait for a few years and we'll get a transformable version of this design. But until then, this figure reigns supreme in terms of looks, quality, and general posability. That's all from me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.